Bonsoir, mon chers. How's everybody doing? It's totally Tuesday, and we are here for our Oracle Manifestation reading, checking in with our intentions and goals and manifestations and seeing where we're at and, you know, what's the kind of tone of the energy that surrounds us right now and where should we be focusing our intentions and what can we be on the lookout for to avoid. Ooh, oh my gosh. So you guys, we get this card every week. Dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. Okay, this is something that comes up every week. So even though you may think that your dreams are like just outside of your comfort zone, or maybe like you're like, ooh, you think you're pushing yourself, you're capable of so much more. It's so crazy. So we're actually dreaming too small. The universe is like, keep dreaming big, keep dreaming big, keep dreaming bigger. And sometimes there's another card in this deck that's like, dream even bigger. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got that one too, because last week they came up together. But we're right here in this Virgo, like new moon energy. We're in this waxing phase from this Virgo new moon that just passed on Saturday. And so in the, Hebrew Kabbalah school of thought, the new moon of the month influences the whole month. That whole month has that energy surrounding it. It's the most potent when you connect with it like right on the new moon and around the new moon, but you can still like tune into that energy by setting your intention to like align with those powers throughout the month. Another way to harness the power of the astrological influence of the month from the new moon, like say for instance, this month is Virgo, you can tap into the powers of Virgo, but you are also going to be challenged to overcome like the shadow side of Virgo, right? Those aspects that also exist within you, within your ego. And the more that you can transcend the shadow aspects of Virgo, then the more you can enhance the powers of Virgo, right? So right now during this waxing phase, I know personally I was like super busy over the weekend, and so I kind of took today to really like officially like solidify those intentions that I've set for myself for throughout the month. But I think that as long as you get like a lot of momentum and steady progress forward in the next 2 weeks, that should really support you in getting, all of these intentions or this grouping of intentions for this phase of like the plan, throughout the next couple of weeks. It's good to just clarify your tasks for yourself and don't overload, so that you have like doable, achievable, manageable amounts. And the more that you are like, ooh, I got that done, it's like you feel amazing. So you can really kind of set your bar low at first. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I've already gotten everything that I wanted to accomplish finished. I'm going to do like, a bunch of extra stuff, right? So set yourself up for success. And dream big and don't hold back. Just really go for it. Like believe in yourself, because apparently we're like not giving ourselves enough credit, and the universe wants us to know that like we've got big things in store. So I'm excited. Ooh, okay, that wanted to come around. Ooh, morning affirmations. Again, I feel like this deck has like 45 or so cards in it, and like we only ever get like affirmations and dream big. But this comes up almost every week. Again, say positive affirmations each morning to open up the gates of manifestation. So as you're waking up in the morning, make it part of your routine to like really set your energy for the day. Choose with like your heart, mind, and soul aligned, like how you want to show up in the day and how you want that day to feel. And then maybe like if I remember to, during like the new moon, one of the things that I like to do in my ritual is to like come up with 1 or 2 like really clear and concise affirmations that speak my intentions into being, that I can remember to say over and over again. And it's something that like should be believable to you. It's not something that your subconscious is going to resist or be like, well, that's, not reasonable, right? So start saying affirmations, speaking like blessings and positivity over each area of your life every morning, and say it with gratitude. That way you can like lump all of your little like rituals into like, kind of like start like streamlining them. But yeah, so with gratitude, talk about out loud like all the things that you're grateful for, because when you start appreciating the things that in your life that are already there, that's one of the ways that you can make yourself vibrate the highest and the most magnetic and the strongest, because you're feeling full. You feel like you are abundant, like your cup is overflowing, like you are complete, right? You have, and you're grateful, and you're like uplifted. So that's very high vibes, right? So gratitude is another good thing to add into your affirmations. But you just want to speak health over your body, over your friends and family and community. You want to speak abundance over your finances, harmony in the comings and goings, things working well, just like all the things that you can think of in your life. Just start like speaking good things about them, and you'll be surprised at like how well things start running. And it's like it'll all of a sudden be like, you'll look up one day and you'll be like, oh, I don't have as much chaos anymore. It's kind of like no news is good news kind of thing. Like Michael Berg talks about how his dad, the Rav, he was one of the leaders of the Kabbalah Center before he passed away. He would talk about how the greatest miracle, like somebody would say like, oh, I got in a car wreck, it was so like such a miracle that I wasn't injured. And the Rav would say like, you know what my miracle was? I didn't even get in a car wreck. So we don't even notice like the miraculous state that we live in every day, that we like get to point A and B without any kind of like upset or like an event or whatever, right? So morning affirmations. Boy, that was like really going off on these tangents. I love how sometimes like I'll think, oh, I don't know if I have the energy or the focus to do this video today. Like, what if I have nothing to say? And then they're like 3 hours long. Okay. All right. What else? Oh, didn't realize. Soulmate relationship. New romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. Okay, cool. So maybe one of the things that you're calling in and you're dreaming big about and you're affirming is the fact that you're calling in a soulmate, right? And you know what? We do have to remind ourselves over and over again to dream big, because a lot of times we're so tempted to settle, right? Like for somebody that like doesn't quite fill us, fill all those little boxes that we thought were like non-negotiables, or, we start making compromises. And so what's good to know is that like get in touch with your, like the most authentic version of you, and get real and honest with yourself. Like, what is it that you like really need in a partner? Like, what do you really want? Like, what are you looking for? What's going to make you really happy, right? That person probably exists out there. And many people like that, actually. So just get clear about what you really want, what makes you happy, what you're really looking for, what lights you up, what turns you on. Like, that's important, all of those things. What are the things that you do not want? What are the things that you will not tolerate, But you have to affirm to yourself every day and remind yourself that you're worthy of having an equal that shows up for you, right? Who is, playing at the same level that you are, that's, has of like mind you see eye to eye with, and who really appreciates you, right? So keep affirming that to yourself. Dream big, don't settle, and I don't know, start calling in your soulmate. We've been doing all this work on ourselves, and the more that we get to know who we truly are, the more we're kind of like tuned in, so that like the person that's like the best match for us can kind of meet us, right? So that's great. And if you're in a relationship, then maybe work on your relationship and get to know each other on a deeper level, and realize that, like perfect relationships don't exist. Good relationships are worked on and maintained. And you know, if you're having problems with a person that you're like, oh, I thought this was my soulmate or whatever, and like maybe it's not, it's like you're going to have problems with a soulmate. Like that's what they're there for. They're there to like be supportive and awesome and have the most wonderful love together, but also to like challenge you and push you up against your growth edge. And you know, you do that with each other, right? And you also like balance it out, and it's like, you know, you have really good times together. I think a great example of a soulmate relationship, and y'all are gonna laugh so hard, but it's like Jamie and Claire from Outlander. I mean, the show, it's such smut, it's so good, but it's also like a really good story about like two people who really bring out like the strongest in one another, and they have like a greater cause that they fight for, and I don't know, it's a good show. Okay, playtime, yay. The dolphins know the importance of playing, as joy creates miracles and manifestation. So true. So bring joy into these affirmations too. In fact, like you can like throw on some music that makes you feel really good while you're doing it. Have a dance party, dance naked under the moon, and you know, whatnot. Just, you know, good old fashioned fun with your affirmations. So yeah, play, fun. The more fun that you're having, like the more magnetic you are in your heart, right? It's like the thoughts are kind of like these electrical impulses that are sent out as far as like our manifestations go, as far as our intentions go. But the way we feel is the thing that like actually activates the magnet. And so there's nothing more magnetic or high vibration than having fun, being in joy, doing the things that you love, and having gratitude about it while you're doing it, right? So our assignment is recess. Yay! My favorite, my favorite subject, playtime. All right, y'all, be good. Let's see, one last little go through. Dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. Morning affirmations. Say positive affirmations each morning to open up the gates of manifestation. Soulmate relationship. New romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. Ooh la la. We'll see about that. Playtime. The dolphins know the importance of playing, as joy creates miracles and manifestation, and I know that to be true. I bet you do too. All right, y'all, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this evening. I'm going to have a bath. I'm going to enjoy my stew that I made last night. Probably gonna watch some more Outlander. I've been doing a To Be Magnetic workshop. I've been working on the unblocked inner child, and already it's so funny. Me and my best friend, like we both do this work together, and we're like, we'll do it separately, but like we like coach each other through it. And we laugh because you start the workshop and the first like opening page is basically just like an introduction of like, hello, welcome to this workshop where we're going to be like blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like all of a sudden you're like in your journal and you're like 10 pages in and it's all spilling out. And you're like crying. You're like, wow, this is really effective. And you're like, I'm basically I basically have just read pull tab to open, like the equivalent. It's just like the table of contents. And you're like, oh my God, it's so effective. It's so funny though how like spiritual books and like things like that work. It's like the moment you start reading, it's like introduction page 1, things in your life start happening to meet you, and it's like your living workbook or whatever. It's very interesting. Also, insane update. So I was thinking that my dehumidifier, like the bucket, I was like, it's probably like a gallon. Well, I had to look up some things to see if I like needed to tinker with it today, and I realized that I have, whatever the one I have is like, it's 7 pints. Like that's like the average or whatever. So I was like, well, how many pints is in a gallon? And it was like 8, or no, it was like a 70 pint tank or whatever. I can't remember, but either way, I double checked it a bunch to be like, oh, am I looking at this right? And I did the math. And so I have not pulled 35 gallons of water out of the air. I pulled like 350 or something. I'm like, that's like a swimming pool. Like, am I just like pulling like all the humidity out of like nature now? Like, what is happening? And it's still like, I still feel like it's coming out of my air conditioner. Is it a continuing issue? Am I gonna have to get out there with that pipe again? Like, I'm so tired of pipe. I am not like the maintenance person, although my grandfather was. That was like his thing. That's like his best talent. He could fix anything. He was a mechanical engineer. All right, Jens, I am going to enjoy the rest of my evening, and I hope you do as well. Ciao.